For those of you who don't know me, I'm Nadine and I'm one of the leaders from Wild and Free. For today's reflection, we're going to be looking at Luke chapter 20, verses 20 to 26. I'm going to be reading from the NIV version if you want to read along. Keeping a close watch on him, they sent spies who pretended to be sincere. They hoped to catch Jesus in something he said so that they might hand him over to the power and authority of the governor. So the spies questioned him, "Teacher, we know that you speak and teach what is right, and that you do not show partiality, but teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. Is it right for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" He saw through their duplicity and said to them, "Show me a denarius. Whose image and inscription are on it?" "Caesar's," they replied. He said to them, "Then give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's." They were unable to trap in on what he said there in public, and astonished by his answer, they became silent. I think for me, there was two main things that jumped out at me when I read it. The first was that even Jesus knew what it was like to try to be tricked. I think, especially as a young Christian with dyed hair and piercings, then a lot of the time, especially at university and in different circles, then you're not what people expected of a Christian, and you're not what people's idealised image of what Christianity is. And I think that because of that, people try to trick you into being more of the world. And I think that it's just so clear that Jesus' wisdom comes through in knowing how to exactly respond to these situations. And for me, it's just a nice reminder to pray for wisdom for them situations, being aware that they will come, and that with God's wisdom then I'll be able to handle it. And I just thought that was encouraging. And the second thing that jumped out is that often when you hear this verse talked about, or this bit of the chapter talked about, then it's kind of talked about in terms of finances, in terms of like used in debate, and do we pay with taxes, what's God's in terms of finance. And I think what actually jumped out was that to give God what is God's is so much more, and we are God's treasured possession, and to give God all of yourself is just an incredible opportunity, but so hard to do in practice. And I think it reminded me of, I'm not going to be able to quote the verse, I'm not even going to pretend to try, the verse where it says to serve the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, strength. And I know that that verse for me, especially in the past, has been a real blessing. And I think just to give God what is God's, it kind of reminded me that to give God what is God's is so much more. So to try to give God your full mind and strength. And yeah, it's hard, and it's a call on our lives that it's not going to be easy to step into, but when we step into it, then what we'll see and what God can do when we're willing to be used is incredible. So yeah, I'm just going to pray and close us in prayer. God, thank you for being with us in our journey, especially in times that are hard. God, I just pray that when we're in situations where people may be trying to trap or ensnare us, that you will give us wisdom. We will know the right things to say and to do in these situations. And God, I just thank you for the opportunity to be able to serve you, to be able to serve you with our heart, mind and strength. God, I pray that you will give us the courage to step into this and to give you what is yours. In your precious name, amen.